Hey, what is up, my friends? I'm Toby Wayne. This is Toby Wayne Studios. And joining me tonight in the studio, as you can see in this little tiny picture frame right up above, is my brother, Travis Jehoshaphat Larson. And I may have made up that middle name.
Right.
Yes. It's not Jehoshaphat?
Toby Waynard Larson.
Boy, that hurts.
Yeah.
I made away with the better middle name.
Waynard?
Jehoshaphat. Anyway, my brother is in from, where are you living again?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
He's in Arizona. Some brother I am. But anyway, tonight he is with us, with me, you, and all of you live. Although it'll be pre-recorded when you guys get to it. But that's okay. Live right now. In the studio with me all the way from Arizona. And I'm actually very happy that he's here. This is going to be just kind of a jam session. I'm actually sculpting, and Travis is going to be drawing on his Surface Pro, which he's actually recording, and he's on his OBS, and he's going to actually post it on his channel, and I'll put the link to his channel in the description below, if I remember it right. I remember. But anyway, we are just going to be having fun tonight. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I don't know really what is going to be said or what's going to happen. I'm sure there's going to be some fun stories, probably some sad stories. Travis may end up crying at one point. I'm not really sure. I also want to say this. I also want to say that some of the stories that you may or may not hear tonight may be completely fabricated. Please do not believe into the hype that Travis may say that I'm a brutal, vicious brother.
Toby. He's the greatest brother I know.
Yeah, so anyway, we're just going to have fun. Travis is a very talented artist, and it I guess, ran in our family for the most part. My dad, or our dad, my dad, not so much yours, not.
We had the same father.
Yes, would draw, but he never really exercised it that much. Yeah.
I remember him drawing a mutant for us, where it was like a human torso but an octopus legs
Wow.
body. I don't know if you remember that.
And I'm not sure if that's gonna. I don't know. Did we cover the volume on that? I mean, because we were talking kind of loud in the last one.
You think?
The test one.
Do I need to talk louder?
Yeah, maybe just a touch louder. But that's just us. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. So Dad would always draw, and we would try to get him to draw for us. But sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But anyway, yeah, I think that's where we got most of our artistic stuff.
Well, and it's a Larson trait, right? Like our Aunt Brenda is very talented in art and painting. Grandpa Larson did a lot of little sketches and doodles and would whittle and carve wood and all sorts of fun stuff. So, I mean, I think it's genetic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
So I wanted to touch base. Also, thank you guys for checking out these past few videos on the statue that I've been working on. I did change this pose a little bit. It's a lot more dramatic than what it was before. I did a pretty heavy bend in his torso, and so he's kind of got a zigzag motion going on here, but I think that's it's coming along quite nicely. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, so
how many hours? How far into that are you?
Well, to be honest with you, I think the tinfoil, the first video I did, not counting the armature part of it, was maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And then the second video, I think, where I was just applying the clay, was maybe 30 something minutes. And then the video that posted on Friday was 40-something minutes, I want to say. So, yeah, I'm a little ways in. Not much. I mean, it's not too far in.
Like, I see you do a lot of videos. I actually watch my brother's videos,
and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you. Get out there and be an athletic supporter. That's all I got right now, folks.
Yeah. But I don't think we see all of the behind scenes. Like, I don't think we see all of the stuff that you do in working on the sculpture. So I find it interesting, like, through the power of editing.
Yeah.
You're not you're able to condense it.
Well, and actually, to be honest with you, when I do the XSplit layout like you guys are seeing here, I don't edit any of that unless I'm adding something to the video. I rarely ever touch it in the video editing processes. Usually, it just goes directly from XSplit straight into YouTube. So
I guess I'm saying more like anything you do that's not captured on camera. Do you touch up or work on? I mean, I'd imagine it'd be hard not to touch and push some of the Sculpey around, right? So do you spend a lot of time refining stuff off camera?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm always working on stuff off camera for sure, which sucks because I feel bad for everybody out there that wants to see it, and sometimes I get so focused on something that I don't necessarily pay attention, and I'll forget to turn a camera on, and it'll just get going, and then the next thing I know, I'm 3/4 of the way through a sculpt, and you know, I don't have any video to show, you know, it sucks, but yeah.
I've had a few drawing sessions that I thought, man, I wish I'd recorded that.
Yeah.
And I've done a few drawings, and they're on YouTube. You can check them out.
Yeah, Travis, what is your channel, by the way?
Lord if I know. No, it's I think you can find it under Larson Travis J.
Oh, okay.
That's
Larson
really awkward.
Travis
I should
J.
probably know my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, you should, especially where we're plugging it. Yeah. Yeah. But I will put that description in the link below. He's just started.
The description in the link below.
Yeah, the description in the link below. That's what I'm going to do. These guys knew what I was talking about. Travis is always picking on me. I will put the link in the description below.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, and it's a variety show right now. I don't have a set genre. I do a couple different things. But the drawing has really been kind of a passion rekindled. Like, we, as kids, we drew all the time. That was just the thing we did and had a lot of fun with.
Yep.
I remember in particular, we used to go to my mom and say, our mom, same woman, just like our dad.
Yeah, yeah.
And be like, hey, whose drawing is better? And Toby being, you know, the old fart and ancient and decayed.
By the way, I am going to be editing all that out.
So then they're going to be like, it cuts to you saying, I'm going to edit all that out.
Yeah.
They won't know.
Right, yeah.
So the idea would be, though, that we would challenge Mom and always ask whose drawing is better. And Toby being older and more hand-eye coordination, his were always better.
But I will say this, they never said, Toby, yours is way better. Or Travis, yours is way better, because that would hurt one or the other ones. Yeah, you know, it was just, I mean, it was just them doing the parenting thing, you know, where they're not going to pick sides, of course. Which, you know, I didn't realize that we were putting them in such an awkward spot, of course.
I did.
Yeah, Travis did. Yeah.
They usually picked yours, though.
I don't remember any of that. I don't remember any of that.
So the way that, so in fact, Mom tells the story where we would go to her and say, whose is better? And she would usually pick Toby's. You know, it was a blind taste test here. Like, you know, never know. And then she was feeling bad for me one day, and she's like, because I was the younger one, she's like, all right, I think this one is better. And I was like, you always pick his. Well, she picked the one she thought was worse, and it was actually Toby's, not mine. But she was trying to be nice, and basically I was still hurt and crying.
Yeah.
And that's when my drawing ability surpassed Toby's.
Yeah.
This was last week.
Yeah. So you know, let's talk a little bit about growing up. Now, you know, again, this is, I'm not doing, I don't want it to go into a negative place. But
I wanted him dead as a kid. That's fair.
Yeah, that's very true.
Brother love.
Yeah, that's very true. I will say this, you know, growing up as the older brother, I'm 2 years older. That makes me two years wiser, I guess, if that is a thing. With that being said, you know, I had a older brother responsibility. It's written in the laws, I tell you, to be kind of the, what's the proper word? What word am I looking for?
Jerk?
Yeah, that would work. That would work. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm sure Travis will tell you, I was evil. Like, I took being the older brother to the extreme, man. Like, I would, and here's why. And I think I may have told Travis this off camera when we were just kind of talking at another time. But, you know, it was one of those deals where I always wanted to see what he was up to. And Travis was very, very protective of his work, as well as he should be, in the sense of, you know, I'm the older brother, so I'm kind of scoping things out, and I'm trying to just see, you know, what technically my competition is, really. I mean, because we were always in a competition against each other, which sucked. We weren't?
No, you're my older brother. I always looked up to you, admired you, and wanted to be as good as you were. So a lot of what I was doing was trying not to be embarrassed at how I wasn't as good as Toby. I think that's the first time I've ever admitted that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Can we edit that out?
No, we cannot edit that out. In fact, I'm going to take a video and just make a loop of that for like 3 hours of just Travis saying that.
I'm blackout drunk. We all know that, right?
Yeah. No, you know, it's funny because I was the same way, but it was the opposite. Like I always thought your work was better. And so I was always trying to see what you were working on, because I would see you drawing forever, you know, over there in the corner or whatever. And I always just wanted to know, like, what is he working on? What's he working on? And because I was so jerky, you know, you were very, very protective. You always had this mindset that I was out to try to, you know, damage your, you know, your drawings, or, you know, cut you down verbally, or however that worked out, which... Right. You know, and in some cases that may have been, you know, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, I was the older brother, and, you know, and I think maybe it was a part of me was just, you know, jealous or whatever. There was always just kind of that spirit, you know, of competition, and I hated that, you know, growing up and stuff. You know, it just was what it was. But I was always trying to look and see what you were doing, and to me that was, you know, I just wanted to see. I wasn't necessarily going to try to cut you down, you know.
Not
I just
how it felt from a
oh, and it may not have been. I may have been totally a jerk about it, you know. I mean, you know, yeah, absolutely, you know.
Bridge under the water, as Toby would say.
Bridge
under the water.
A bridge under the water. Because that, you know, description will be in the link below.
Right.
Anyway, you know, it's funny because Travis would get really, really, really upset at me if I, you know, was trying, especially knowing that I was trying to see what he was doing, and he found out that I was trying to find out what he was doing. He got really protective, and like I said, I don't blame him at all. But, you know, like I would wait for him to go, you know, somewhere. The minute he left that book, his sketchbook, man, I was like sneaking into it. Oh, absolutely. There was more times than you will ever know that I went and was looking at, you know, whatever, you know, like trying to find your drawings and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm glad I didn't leave my diary out.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Dear diary. I know, right? Yeah, so I was always trying to find out what he was doing and what was up, and
well, that's good to know.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy was we would fight like cats and dogs all the time. We would be fighting, and it only got physical twice, 2 times that I can remember that it physically came to blows. The first time we were both really young, and I had really pissed Travis off, and I was, you know, I had what, you know, got what was coming to me. He hauled off and just socked me square in the nose. I mean, he hit me so hard that, like, I saw flashes, you know, and then the blood just poured, and my nose was, you know, just messed up. And we thought it was just a nosebleed kind of a deal, but then it actually turned out to be like a carter. Yeah, I had to get my nose cauterized. Yeah, we went to the hospital and I had to get my nose cauterized.
Bleeding.
Yep.
You know, he had tissues and towels and things packed on his face.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. I mean, he busted me.
I don't remember feeling bad, but I don't remember feeling glad either. It was just a weird time, like, oh, well, okay, Toby's nose won't stop bleeding. Until we got into the back room and they had to hold him down. Because when you cauterize a nose, if you know...
especially, I don't even know how old I was. I had to be 7, 8, something like that. But man,
it was like medieval medical time back then. We were talking
like they had the steel rod, and I remember them just hitting it with the torch, and it's cherry red, and then they're all holding me down, and they just shoved that thing right in my nose. Smoke's pouring out. That may have been a little bit of an
Not
played.
much.
But yeah, it was brutal. It was because they had to stop the bleeding. So
I definitely started feeling a little bad at that point.
Yeah.
So.
But it did get me out of school for a little bit. It got me out of like my classes. I was able to, skip school for a day or two because of my severe injury. Severe injury.
I'm a brute. What can I say?
Yeah. But I'll tell you this much. I got my receipt on him. We had he was under the tree one day. I climbed up in the tree.
That happened first.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
no way.
No.
I'll drink to that. Mountain Dew break.
Not sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah, not sponsored by Pepsi. Blur that image out. No, you got me first because we were young. I mean, I was like in the third grade when you punched me in the
we
nose.
lived in two houses growing up. One we call the old pink house. You can probably guess why. And then the one on Leicester Street. Again, you can probably guess why. You did the story you're about to tell when we were at the pink house. I socked you in the nose when we were at the Leicester house.
Nope.
Yep.
Doesn't work that way, people.
Yep.
It's Toby Wayne Studios. I remember distinctively because I was in the third grade when you popped me in the nose. But anyway, I digress because I was in the third grade and we hadn't left for the other house until the fifth grade.
When we went to Leicester.
So anyway, yeah. See the lies and the deception. You tried to sneak you in there.
Good looking brother. Yeah, good looking brother.
Anyway, you have both your contacts in one eye. I'll tell you that much. No. So anyway, then some time later, right before we left. I was up in a tree and I had a hammer, and to this day, I guess I'll still claim innocence. The hammer had fallen from the tree branch. It was a very weak tree branch, and the hammer fell and landed directly on Travis's noggin.
I genuinely think you didn't do it on purpose.
What happened?
I just know you're not that good of an aim. So
boy, that hurts.
I think you set it on a branch by the hook, and then it slipped.
But either way, it fell, and I mean, it cracked him square in the noggin, and blood was
Just think what kind
everywhere.
of like Nobel Peace Prize winning award person I'd be if you hadn't knocked some brains out of me. I'm just saying.
That's very, very true.
A lot happier.
Very, very true. Yeah. So anyway, that's the only times it ever got physical that I remember. But
and then Toby developed psychological warfare, and that was worse. We were in high school.
Yeah.
And Toby loves to wrestle. You guys know this. And he wanted to wrestle with me, and I don't like wrestling. It wasn't my thing. I think we were wrestling, and then I started getting irritated. And something happened, and we I was pissed, and I'm like, that's it. We're going to fight. We're doing it. And you're like, yeah, come at me. Or no, you're like, no, I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. I was like, no, I'm going to hit you, and then we're going to fight. And he just, nope, not going to do it. And I hit him square in the chest, and he didn't respond. And I was like, I hate you. And I turned to walk off, and he goes, chicken. And I think you did chicken once, and then I hit you. And then anytime I tried to leave, I was the chicken. But anytime I challenged a fight, he's like, I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you.
Yeah. Or I would stand up and get ready to go like I was going to fight with him. And then just as he would get up and come at me, I'd be like, nah. And I would just sit down because I knew he was a squirrely little dude. And I mean, he could he could fight. And I knew that, so I knew psychologically I had to try to get the upper hand, and in some cases I did.
Frustrating.
But anyway,
most cases,
yeah,
I was gullible.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. You were like 27. Yeah. So anyway, the times that we would get together though, and we would be creative was pretty amazing because I remember for the most part we would argue and fight. But the few times that we did not fight was be at Grandma and Grandpa Larson's house. We would go out to Grandma and Grandpa Larson's house, and they were like Switzerland. They were like the neutral land. Like there was no fighting. It was so crazy. We would go out to their place. We would sit down in their dining room area. They had like a little TV set up out there, and it would be like a Saturday night, and we'd be watching Ren and Stimpy. And we would be drawing, and we would always sit down and say, and we would come up with a plan like, hey man, let's draw the ultimate zombie fighting vehicle.
Yes.
Like let's draw the ultimate vehicle.
Yep.
And so then Travis and I would, we would both kind of be sitting there and we would start to draw. And we wouldn't really show each other what we've got until towards the end. But man, it was the smoothest, most peaceful time. Like we never fought, and we'd watch Ren and Stimpy and draw.
I remember Lawrence Welk a lot more than Ren.
Well, Lawrence Welk was not my choice. I guarantee you that much. That was the grandparents, I guess. But yeah, good old grandparents. But
yeah, no, that was fun. And then I also remember when we came up with it. We were driving to the coast, and I think Justin might have been with us.
Yeah.
But we're in the backseat of this little car going to the coast for the day, and superheroes.
Yeah, yeah.
We came up with Richard. He was going to be a politician, and his. Can I say this?
I guess you can. Yeah.
Like he'll stand tall for you.
Yeah, he'll stand erect.
Yeah, he'll stand erect for you.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a deviation from the Tick. If you guys ever saw the Tick cartoon,
and his vice president Bud Stinky Anus. Yeah. So we were young. I mean,
like 12.
I know, right? Yeah. But we were idiots. But anyway,
we worked together.
We did work together, and we came up with some great superheroes. But yeah, so anyway, we just had, we had our issues when we were growing up. But I tell you what, man, I'm incredibly thankful that we're able to, bond together now as brethren and be creative and be sitting here on what is tonight? Friday?
Yeah,
Friday night? Yeah. So having a good time, having a real good time. So
for sure.
So back to this sculpt real quick. I've decided that I think I'm going to do a zombie for now. You can see I kind of have jacked the pose a little bit. And currently right now I'm just kind of blocking in some pants. And I'm not sure, I kind of envision like some sort of maybe like a wife beater on this little guy. I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do for that. I know I want to make him kind of skinny and make him, like ribs and stuff sticking out. And of course I could get crazy and do some pretty heavy damage, but I'm not really sure what kind of damage I want to do. In my little pea brain, I'm almost envisioning some sort of it'd be awesome to somehow rip, all of this out, and just have ribs exposed and have it look straight through. So this whole section's missing, but I've got tinfoil in there, and I've also got the metal wire armature. So I'm not sure. I mean, nothing that a Dremel tool couldn't take out.
Would you bake it first and then go back and do it?
No.
No? Just do it right through it?
Yep. I would just cut it right.
I've seen you Dremel on Cook, but I've never seen wouldn't it just splatter the soft Sculpey? How would the Dremel tool
No. I would Dremel it in after so I would tear it all out. And then make it,
tear the clay out first.
Tear the clay out first, cut the tin foil out and all that stuff. And then I could go back in once it's baked and all that. Then I could go back in. And then that's where I could actually break out the magic sculpt and, re-sculpt in those guts just on the side. So I may do that. I may end up doing that. But like I said, I just kind of want to start blocking stuff in and just kind of start shaping things and all that good stuff. So hope everybody's been enjoying the sculpture videos. I know I see that they're getting some good likes and a lot of good comments and a lot of good thumbs up. So I truly appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate you joining us tonight in the studio. Like I said, I have no idea how long we've been going. I don't really have a time. There's no timer set up on this one, which is kind of a bummer. But it doesn't tell me the time, which is.
It's 8:45. If that helps.
It does help. Unfortunately, I don't know when we started it, so.
It's 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was more than 5. I know that, but yeah. So.
No, it's I think it's interesting because when we have talked about doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
We've wanted to do just collaboration and talk about some of the stories when we were kids and things that happened and just kind of how we grew up over the years. So when I found out I was coming up for vacation, I was pretty excited, and I said, Toby, we need to do this. And he's like, of course. And
yeah,
here we are drinking Mountain Dew and drawing and sculpting.
Yep. Good times, good times. And it's amazing because when you're, when your family member, brother, whatever moves away, you almost become closer. You get closer to that person. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't want Toby dead anymore.
that's a good thing.
Mostly dead.
Yeah, kind of dead, a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm already dead.
Dead inside.
Dead inside.
Oh.
My chestal section, it hurts.
There's just a
Yeah.
lot of growing up and maturing you do over the years. That's all. So it's all good.
Yep.
For young siblings out there who aren't getting along, it'll change.
It'll get better.
Let's see. How you feeling about your sculpt?
Good. I'm just blocking in my pants. Trying to figure out what right now I'm just kind of starting to lay in what it is that I'm doing. And like I said, is it weird for a zombie just to be wearing pants and no shirt at all? I mean, I guess if I put like how would the zombie lose his shirt?
I mean, well, if he's got a big hole ripped through him.
Well, yeah, but then wouldn't part of the shirt still be hanging on, even though it was kind of ripped out from here to here, somewhere in there?
I think he's overthinking it.
No,
how long has he been a zombie?
I don't know. It depends.
Maybe it's rotten off. Like maybe it's, maybe it ripped off coming out of the grave.
Yeah.
Caught on the. I was gonna say caught on the cactus. Casket.
Caught on the. It was caught on the. Well, you are from Arizona.
Yes, I.
It was caught on the cactus.
Those dang cactuses always tearing off my shirts. That's a thing. Yeah. Weren't we talking about ripping shirts off and how hard that is?
Yeah. To rip a shirt. Have you ever tried to rip a shirt through the little stitches at the top? It's no good. It doesn't work.
YouTube challenge. Let's see you rip your. No, I don't.
Yeah. Rip your shirt. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out, kind of just the overall damage that's going to happen to this guy. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the pose, and I want to cash in on it, but I'm not really sure exactly quite what to do with the damage. I know there'll probably be spots that are, maybe rotten, like rips and tears and all that stuff, but right now I'm just, as you can see, I'm just running my rake over it. So
it's a good pose, though. That's I like it.
Yeah, it
conveys a lot of movement.
Yep. So just out of curiosity and not to start a feud or a war, what are you drawing? Show me what you're drawing, brother. Brother. He's obviously not going to show me that little flaming jerk head. Anyway, yeah, we'll just go ahead and edit that part out too.
Well, hold on. I'm just not ready to show it yet.
See what I'm dealing with, people? Do you see it? He's a jerk now. He's a jerk then.
I'm a drama queen. What can I say?
That's
Hold
all
on,
right.
I just got to finish something here. That should work. What camera am I showing?
You can show your main camera there. Let's see. What are we doing? Oh, it's Nibbles. Zoom in a little bit on it. Nice. Nibbles the clown. Boy, that's slick. He's drawing my bust there. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. That is great. And what's crazy is if you took that face paint off, took away the red nose, and gave him a regular shirt, you'd have a pretty sweet-looking Jason Voorhees from part 3 or 4. Kind of that, damaged mongoloid version of him, I guess.
There's just a little bit of a disconnect when you going from pen and paper or pencil and paper to digital. I'm just using SketchUp as like a $10 app on the Surface Pro. It's not even anything spectacular, but it's helped. It's a good transition. Not too many options. I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed by the selection of tools, but it's still kind of a limited medium as far as understanding just where the pin's gonna lie. The oblong head is different than Nibbles. Like I can see that, but I can't quite correct it. I don't know how to fix that yet. But it's all good. Yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's looking good, man. I'm impressed.
I did something. I don't know how to undo it. So.
Well, actually, I'm not impressed because that doesn't surprise me. But You did a good job.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
I've seen better.
Yeah, I've seen better. Wait, that's not what I meant to say. Yeah, I don't. So I don't want to get too far into this unless I, rip this out. I guess I can kind of, you know, come in and tear that out because, like I said, I'm not going to be molding this one that I'm aware of. Let's just say that, finger quotes, that I'm aware of. I may or may not mold this. More than likely, I probably won't, just because I'm just trying to get a feel and a vibe for the zombie and the pose. But I think this is where I want to kind of, cause my major damage. And then, of course, if I wanted, I could have, I don't think I'm going to have guts in this one. I think I might just rip this out and then maybe just have kind of the hollow area, the cavity, and then just have heavy brown staining maybe running down the pant leg or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Not 100% sure just yet. And that means I'm going to have to get myself some images of some jeans to replicate the overall look of the pants and all that good stuff. And there's so many things to think about when you're working on a sculpture. Not only just straight up pose and I guess, and not just sculpture. I'm talking like any kind of art, drawings, paintings, whatever the case may be. You're always having to try to think about the final result, the final product, at least for me anyway. And you've got to try to think, okay, like, is this zombie, like, like, how long has he been dead for?
Yeah.
Where was he at? What caused the damage for him? Where did he come from? Male, female, the age, fat, skinny. So it's just it's a whole plethora of different things that you have to try to think about before you even start sculpting to kind of make things a success.
Where do you usually begin with that though? So like what makes you think, do you just start pushing clay around and it starts forming in your mind, or do you think about it and then come out and work?
A little bit of both, I think. For me, it's like, okay, what do I want to do? And for the longest time when I was putting this piece together, I had no idea what I was doing. If I was going to do like a mutant, a zombie, if I was going to do like a freak, like a hillbilly inbred, kind of creature, I wasn't 100% sure on that. So I was a little lost, to be honest, before I started working on this. But it's kind of started taking on a life of its own.
It's some weird thing where it's not doing the back button.
Oh, maybe have you done a systems update?
Have I tried turning it off and back on again?
Yeah.
Is it plugged in?
Yeah, those are good questions. Those are excellent questions.
Yeah. No, I haven't done a system update lately, so that could be it.
I know for me, like as soon as I did my system update,
everything got better again.
Yeah, it really took off and started fixing all the issues. Yeah, so right now I'm just kind of trying to establish my shapes, really just go over and smooth things over with my rake. And it's looking pretty rough in certain spots. And again, what I'm going to have to do is come back in and I'm going to have to put my pants detail and my pant wrinkles in and folds and all that stuff. Yeah, so that in itself is going to take a little bit of time, but I think if I can just kind of start to piece this sculpture together and at least get the basic poses and stuff, then I'll be all right. And I'm probably going to have to come back in with and study up on skinny models to get an idea of the muscle structures and all that good stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember like when I did a lot of drawing muscular men was fairly easy,
Yeah.
bulbous and simple. But if you really wanted to do that sinew, how do you say it? Tendons and ligaments and beneath the muscle,
Yeah.
the stuff that makes the body move,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or holds the bones together. That's a whole different art.
Yep. And there's some guys out there that when they do a sculpt, they'll start out by sculpting the skeleton
Mm-hmm.
and then adding the clay muscles around it. And then once those are defined, then they'll roll out thin layers of clay, and then they'll just lay them over the top of that, and then that will give them their, you know, their pose, and you know, the whole muscles, everything straight up as is.
Crazy. I just realized he looks like he's having mental issues.
Well, he's Nibbles the Clown. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So you nailed it.
Yeah. That's not the word I'm going to use. Let's see.
I don't know how well this is picking up on the camera, the details and all this. It looks pretty rough. You know, what I may end up doing is, you know, just keep smoothing them over with my rake. And unfortunately, this is not my best rake. My other rake is in the
shop,
the living room area. Always enjoy being creative, and I always enjoy having people in the studio. It's a lot of fun, and I don't really get that chance very often. It's pretty crazy. Like, I just don't really. There's not. It's funny. I know quite a few artists, but the problem is that they're, you know, in different areas, you know, of different cities and all that stuff, you know. So it's difficult sometimes to get, you know, that ability, you know, get everybody in one place at the same time, you know. So I'm very thankful for you coming.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where we would do this more if I hadn't moved out of state.
Oh yeah.
But the restraining order was really clear. I had to.
Yeah.
It was just
one of these days I'll take it off.
Yeah.
I mean, don't hold your breath.
No hurries.
Yeah.
No hurries.
Right. In fact, you're violating it right now.
You told me you wouldn't call the cops on me.
I lied.
Psychological warfare.
Yep. So, you know, I just realized something. As I'm sculpting this in, and if he is going to be shirtless, that means I have to put nipples on him.
Ooh.
Ooh. Nipples.
What do you do for that?
I don't know.
Have you ever sculpted a nipple? PG-13 here, people.
I know. Yes. Yes, I have. We'll take that off. So.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. Those were the worst male nipples I've ever seen. Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out, you know, and what I'm going to do is I did find some really good reference photos of even a zombie that was really skinny. So I'm going to, once I get that figured out, you know, now that I'm getting my poses and everything in, now I can kind of start shaping it, blending it, and then, you know, making it happen.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he's maybe leaning too far forward. But I guess, see how he's leaning forward. I mean, I guess he's a zombie, so he's kind of just lugging along.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, right. So I guess I could just lean him back a little bit. And I can just push his feet. Yeah, there he is.
I'm having technical difficulties.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Did it shut down on you? Well, what do you say we go ahead and wrap this one up?
Yeah.
It was a good session. I got some pants on this little dude here. We established a better pose. We also kind of determined where we were going to do some heavy damage to the zombie itself.
I like it. I think it's the right kind of exaggerated pose.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a good pose.
This might be a little bit of an issue here. I may end up having to move this arm back a little bit because as you know, these are kind of short because I'm going to
Mhm.
cut those off and sculpt them separate. But realistically, you know, that hand is going to be, you know, this is going to be longer and it's going to be more
Could he be missing
longer.
it? Like just blown off?
I could just take the cheap route and completely blow his arms off if I wanted, you know, like just completely sever an
I don't
arm.
think it's the cheap route. I mean, if you're doing it just to get out of sculpting hands, sure, but some of the creepiest zombies I've ever seen are usually missing from like their, you know, just below their shoulder down.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but that's just creepy to me.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe I could, you know, take this arm off and just kind of have, you know,
Like what
have it.
caused the explosion that he's missing half of his rib cage?
Right, and wouldn't the damage be more on this side than on that side?
Depends on, you know, not if he brought his hand over when it hit.
Yeah,
I was thinking cross body, blow it off.
yeah,
Hard to say. Tell the story, Toby.
yeah. You know, technically, I could just start making him a monster if I really wanted. Like I'm still up in the air, but I could really start mutating him out if I wanted and just make him have huge, you know, like a monster lob claw, you know, lat claw there.
What? Well, how does that change your thought process? That's a whole different.
I know it is. That's a whole different
Yeah.
beast.
Have you? So I've been watching Thundercats, and Lion-O had to fight off a crab man, which was basically a normal like human being, but with these giant claw hands. So when you said crab hands, that's,
Yeah, crab hands.
it's a little silly.
What's it called? Lobster hands?
Lobster hands.
Lobster hands, not claw hands. I'm sorry if I offended any lobsters out there.
Yeah.
It's true.
I didn't know you were targeting that demographic.
Yeah. We got all kinds of people watching.
Yeah, all kinds. No, I mean, yeah, obviously do what you want to do.
Yeah, and I hate the indecisiveness. You know what I mean? Like that's the one drawback about not having a solid locked plan of this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to achieve. We've left it open for interpretation. I mean, technically, I could just start getting crazy and just start sculpting a weird monster with mutations, and that way the proportions don't necessarily have to line up.
Well, so open it up to your audience. You're going to post this video before you work on it again.
Yeah.
Do they want to see a monster or do they want to see a zombie? It's such a great zombie pose.
Yeah, it is.
It's a phenomenal zombie
Yeah.
pose.
And that's why a part of me is like, maybe I should just keep the zombie, you know.
But the beauty of art is it can be anything you want.
And who's to say I couldn't just sculpt up a mutated zombie that doesn't have a big lobster claw?
You should make a cowdaver.
A cowdaver.
Which is a zombie cow.
Yeah, a zombie cow.
I thought I was clever, but yeah.
Yeah, derailed.
I'll move over.
Yeah. You're milking this for everything it's worth. See what I did there?
Utterly embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
Utterly embarrassing.
Well, I'm going to wrap this video up because we're running out of cow jokes here, and it's god awful to begin with.
Dirty patties.
Yeah, it's a bunch of cow pies. So anyway, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this cluster. And I also wanted to just thank my brother, Travis, Jehoshaphat Larson.
Waynard?
Yeah, whatever. Toby Waynard Studios. And no, I appreciate you, brother, for coming in and hanging out with me on this Friday night. I don't know what else we got planned. I think we're going to stay up till, oh my goodness, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
so I'm way past my bedtime.
We still need to eat some Big Daddies.
Yeah, we got our Reeser pulley sausages in there.
More Mountain Dew to drink.
More Mountain Dew. I got a couple 5 hours running through me. So
just two wild and crazy guys.
Yeah, we are. But no. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for checking this video out. I appreciate you. Please let me know in the comment section below if you've made it this far into the video of what you would like to see with this guy. Right now, I'm kind of running at a zombie, but now that I've added this weird little appendage to his hand, it almost is screaming some sort of mutant, and that's the beauty of not having a decisive plan, is now I can just change it on the fly, and we can shake it up. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do and following me and giving me support and input. You guys are awesome. So anyway, thank you guys, and we will catch you in the very next video.
Maybe. All right. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for watching Toby's channel.
It's awkward.
Yeah. Awkward stare.
Mhm.